Thanks for coming back and welcome to my channel where I'm documenting the building of my workshop and the various projects that I'm involved with. I'm sorry to not have posted a video in a while, especially when I promised that I'll be back next week, but things got out of hand as they often do when you're doing everything yourself. Here's what happened. In the last year, my skills on Fusion 360 and video editing have improved greatly to the point where the computer could not keep up and I needed to plan a course of action. I have Mac Pros in both my music studio and my electronics lab, but the 3D and video work is new, and I ended up using a Hackintosh I built as another project for this task. Fast forward over a year and the built-in video is struggling to keep up. Research turned up that the best card for both my work and compatibility was the Sapphire RX 580 Pulse, as this is the same card that Apple is using in the new setups and should require no modified software. I've been waiting for the crash of crypto gear and for the new models to be introduced, which will cause prices to fall and for my needs to grow. At some point the graphs will cross and I'll have my new card. Research also tells me that putting a new card in my HP Elite Desk 800 isn't going to be easy. It seems that in normal PC fashion, the box size is designed by marketing, as the power supply is only large enough to run the computer memory, hard drives, and nothing else. Even though the motherboard has a number of slots, you can't put any cards in there if you also had the memory and drive bay filled, and HP never made a power supply for this machine that was any larger than this one. I found a thread that featured a schematic for an adapter cable, and further down was a link to a commercial version selling on eBay. This is good, as now I can get a regular power supply, which I did when I found a great deal on an EVGA. Then I found a buy it now for a Sapphire video card, came up at a price I couldn't resist, and then in a few days I would have everything here. First problem is the new power supply needs an adapter plate made to fit the case. Solution: 3D print a new one. I'm now good enough to sketch out a part, design it in Fusion 360, and print it out in the same day. It's hard to get good measurements on tin boxes, so I printed out a quick template and marked it up with silver Sharpie. The final part takes a lot longer to print, as the plastic has to be thick enough to hide the countersink screws and to take the threads for the cabinet mounting. The SSD does not include any mounting hardware, and my HP is missing the tray for the 2.5-inch drive bay. I choose to design and print this part, which is another part that will go from sketch to design to print in record time. I've included links to the 3D printed parts used in this upgrade. Days are going by and I'm still recording, but I'm not editing or taking on any new 3D projects that aren't for this project, and it's getting hard. The work is backing up, and this project you're watching now wasn't even on my list until it became a huge and complex one requiring documenting. TonyMacX86.com was used extensively in the upgrade. This is an amazing resource for the Hackintosh community. Over the years I've built a few, actually only 3, and only one is still working. The first one was really hard, and I followed the build list closely and with brand new components, and I still had problems that eventually killed the project. The second time was better and turned out a working stable machine, and now for the third time I'm upgrading that machine. I've now succeeded in building the easiest machine yet. I don't recommend doing this unless you enjoy building computers, as it takes a special dedication and may not produce a usable machine. Another thing that made this video seem easy was my BIOS is pre-configured from a previous installation. I didn't need to change anything, and the install I used includes factory support for my video card, requiring no extra work here either. All in all, software-wise, this was a pretty painless install, or should I say more accurately, upgrade. So reproducing my results will be unlikely, but it does show it can be done, just not quickly. Well, thanks for watching to the end, and I hope to see you back here again.